Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ria and today we're going to talk about how you can get that D-star or triple D-star if you do an extended diploma in your BTECs. It doesn't matter what subject you do, if you do IT, if you do business or health and social care. I've got these tips and will work for any subject that you do. So before getting started, I do want to talk about the grading system that the BTECs use. If you already know how the grading system works, that's alright. You can skip to this part of the video and get started on the tips. If not, let's just see how the grading system works first. So about the grading system, of course, you know that the grades are marked from pass, merit and distinction. But when you give out assignments, when you do them, and you receive a distinction, for example, these are converted into points, which are called the GLH points, and they are added up from all your assignments and your exams, and then they give you the final grade at the end of the year. So for example, I've got this table for my extended diploma course. So as you can see here, that is the externally assessed unit, which are your exams. So for example, it's unit 3 and 4 and they're worth 120 GLH. So I'm going to look at this part of the table. So say I got a merit in my unit 3, so that would be 20 GLH points. And if I got a distinction in my unit 4, that would be 32 GLH points. Similarly, the internally assessed units, which are the assignments marked by your professors. So looking at the unit 9, which is worth 90 GLH, say if I got a distinction in unit 9, that would be 24 points. And if for other units I got merit, that would be 10 GLH point. So at the end of the year, they're going to add all these points up, and then we would come to this table. So right here. And this is for extended diploma, which is different to just normal diploma. You can find this on the Pearson website as well for your course in BTec. So as I'm doing extended diploma, it would add up all these GLH points, and I would get a final grade based on the points. Of course, it would include the points that I got before, like in the first year and the second year, because it's an extended diploma. So say if I want a DDM for my university, that would require me to get 196 GLH points altogether, include my assignments and my exams. So that basically is how the grading system works. So now for the part why you actually clicked on this video are the tips. The first tip is related to your exams. So if you want to do better in your exams, all you need is a revision guide. So no textbooks, you don't need to buy textbooks. A revision guide is very sufficient for you. Basically is a summarized textbook. So you got all the units in the revision guide, they are summarized information, and you got questions in the end to test your knowledge. You don't need a textbook because textbooks are way too expensive. Revision guide are much more efficient if you want to study. So the revision guides are basically summarized textbooks. So of course, don't go highlighting all over the revision guide. Personally, I would suggest that you do the questions first so that you know where your knowledge gap is. So if you get most questions wrong in unit 1, than unit 2, you know which unit you want to do first. Of course, unit 1, right? Another tip I want to say for exams is do your past papers. Definitely, that goes without saying. You need to do your past papers. You can find the past papers you want for BTec on the Pearson website, which I will link down below. If you go on the website, you can see all the available past papers and answer sheets, as well as marking schemes on there. What you won't find are the recent past papers, which are like 2 to 3 years old, because Pearson locks them until about is 4 years old or something. So if you want to get those past papers, if you want more past papers to do, you can ask your professor, your teacher to get it for you, because they've got the key that unlocks all those past papers. I will link down the revision guides I found for all the BTec subjects. So if you want to click on there and buy it. For me, I personally bought my revision guide on Amazon, which was £18. It's totally worth it. But if you don't want to spend that much money on a revision guide, you can ask your teachers. They might have like a online version of the revision guide, just online pages like you do in Kindle. from your revision guide, don't just jump right into the hard parts that are actually connected to the first parts. So you don't want to do part 5 if in part 5 you first need to learn part 1 and 2. So you can't just jump on part 5 without learning part 1 and 2. So definitely brush up on those basics and make sure you understand them fully, because you need a solid foundation of your knowledge to do the difficult parts ahead. Next, I would say don't cram in. This goes for both exams as well as your assignments. So of course in assignments you have 2 attempts, and you don't want to rely on the second attempt because it's just going to pile up when you have the other assignments coming in, as well as past assignments to redo. It's just a lot of work in the end. So never cram your assignments. Make sure they're rightly spaced throughout the month or the given time you have. And of course, this goes without saying, but don't cram for your assignments, because it's not going to stick in your mind if you do it last minute. Definitely use the revision guide every day, solve questions, do past papers, and once you're done with the past papers, go ahead, check your answers, see which answers are wrong, and do those topics more. Now coming on to the third tip, which applies to the assignment. Do not use AI, okay? Do not use AI to do the work for you. You can use AI, I didn't say don't use it or discard it completely, but use AI just for research purposes and do your own assignment. It's not that hard, because do you want to really risk getting caught up with AI and just losing all the marks at the end that you all worked for? Or you just want to do some honest hard work, but take the help of AI. And they do check your work through an AI detection system, which are much more accurate than the ones you find online, such as ChatGPT 0 and another one I can't remember, but I'll just put the image here. Coming on to the fourth tip. Now this one is very important if you want to score good marks on your assignment, which is having a structure. Imagine you being a teacher, you have to check 50 pages of assignments of 30 students. It's just going to be so tedious. So you want to make sure that your assignment has a flowing structure and it shows how you've completed each criteria, so the teacher knows that you've completed certain criteria such as D1 or M3, so that you get the mark. And definitely want to mention that you need to talk to your teacher beforehand and tell them that you're aiming for a distinction, because it happened with my friend that the teacher didn't know she was aiming for a distinction, and even though she did all the required criteria to get a distinction, she got scored a merit. And when she talked to the teacher that she was aiming for a distinction, he checked her work again, and turns out, yeah, she did do the distinction part. So make sure that you talk to your teacher about how you're aiming to get a distinction star on certain assignments. So for the fifth tip, which is connected to the fourth one, of course, everyone in BTec has an assignment brief. And under the assignment brief, you've got those points, which is P1, P2, B3, M2, M3, D2, and stuff like that, you know. But the thing is that those structure criteria are very, very vague. Personally, I don't like them. I don't like using them because they're just too vague to understand. For that, I would recommend personally is to get the specification out for the assignment. Every assignment has a specification, and if you dive and look into the specification, it's literally the exact same thing, just broken down in much easier chunks, so you know what you need to add for P3 or M2 or D1. You can print out the specification and see what you need to do and complete all the criteria under the specification. And as a title, you can put what the P1 includes or D2 includes, and under it you just go through the specification and complete all the work. I've got an extra tip, which is to use the feedback of your teachers. If you get a second attempt, it's not end of the world. Your teacher is just going to tell you that you need to complete this criteria if you want a D star. Look at the feedback and make sure you apply the same feedback in your other assignments as well. So say if your teacher says that you've got a bit too much irrelevant information in your assignment, make sure you don't put irrelevant stuff in your assignment. Keep it concise, keep it on point, don't blabber on about. And definitely do not go looking for images. You don't want tons of images just to make your assignment look longer. You want to make sure your assignment is on point, relevant, and doesn't include too many images, because it's just waste of space. If you do want to add images, make sure they are linked to what you're talking about. Additionally, do not rely on second attempts. Try to give your best 100% on your first go, because it just keeps adding up in the end, and you don't want that with all the other assignments to do first, and it's just gonna be a nightmare. So learn from my mistake personally, and do not rely on the second attempt. If you got a merit and you're not happy with it, because of course we want distinctions here, so make sure you do use the feedback from your teacher to get that D-star. And that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like below so I know that you love this type of content. Just because you clicked on this video means that you are aiming for a D-star, which is in itself very motivating. So well done. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.